Welcome to SRG Insights, where we answer your questions about sales, sales management, and sales training. And today's question is...
Kenneth Vogt, owner at Vera Claritas, asks, what do you cover in your weekly sales meetings? If you have a weekly meeting with your sales team, what is regular on the agenda? What is useful to you as a manager, and what is useful to your salespeople?
Well, I love that question because I think oftentimes sales meetings get a bad rap. And, what happens is it's used more as the opportunity for the sales manager to kind of scrutinize the activities of the sales team for that week and, frankly, sometimes beat them up on where they're deficient. As opposed to, I'd like to take a different approach to the sales meeting, which is thinking about, it's not about the manager, it should be about the sales team. It should be about motivating, it should be about improving their performance, training, and really helping to solve their problems, as opposed to using it as a replacement for reviewing a report, or maybe for a one-on-one, which should be handled separately and addressing more of those sticky issues in a more sensitive personal setting. So some of the things I'd want to include on my agenda is really, what are the highlights for the week? So having each individual come prepared, and you can do this in advance, but have them come prepared with what was a high point, what was the best thing that happened with a customer that week. So sharing a success story, and then maybe sharing a challenge. What was the biggest pushback? What was the biggest objection? What was a challenge that they ran into? Let's socialize and talk about those. Those are useful, those are productive conversations, really gets the team engaged. The second item, I'd certainly want to address, the pipeline. What are the key opportunities, the largest opportunities in the pipeline, and have people comment on how they're pursuing and proceeding with those opportunities. But depending on the team size and the size of the pipeline, there isn't time to go through every single opportunity, and I think we often get bogged down just essentially reading what's in the pipeline. Again, that can be done in advance or offline, but what I'd particularly want to look at is the largest opportunities, also those that have been in the pipeline or in the stage the longest, so looking at a little pipeline hygiene, and kind of what's stuck. Let's focus on those, and maybe as a group, again, we can ask some questions, we can brainstorm, we can talk about what can we do to help those opportunities move forward, or maybe we need to set up a separate pursuit meeting to really take on that challenging opportunity. But again, focusing on what's most important, what's going to make the most difference to hitting our numbers and our team hitting their numbers each month and each quarter. I'd also like on the agenda to have a training topic. So this may be something that came up during the week or a running list that the manager can collect, so that we always have an opportunity to, and it may be sharing a video, a blog post, a key discussion topic amongst the team, something as simple as, here are 2 objections, let's talk about how we're going to address and handle those objections. Or let's go through the competition. Maybe we look at the competition's website, competitor's website that day, and do a little preview of what they're doing. So just an opportunity to sharpen the saw, to keep skills top of mind, and the fact that training is not an event, but an ongoing effort. And I believe every sales meeting should have some opportunity to improve those skills. Another agenda item I'd like to have is just a quick opportunity for walk-on items, any issues or challenges that may have come up. And I think we need to manage this carefully. We don't obviously want to derail the conversation, and sometimes they're much larger than we have time for. So that's great. We'll put them on a parking lot or put them on a follow-up item to be addressed, but at least we want to give the sales team a chance to bring those issues up that may be affecting their performance, or those roadblocks that may be getting in the way, that as a manager, really we should be focused on trying to help them and trying to address those. And then the final piece, and I really would like to end in the meeting on this note, is a motivational or upbeat topic. So that may be a celebration of a win, that may be recognition for a great job done, a key milestone, or I love sharing a customer quote or testimonial. Maybe it's feedback from a survey we've gotten, something that shares the expertise, the competency, the successes we're having, not just as a team, but as a company. and ends the meeting on that upbeat takeaway that they can feel good about what they're doing. So just some ideas for the agenda. Obviously, it varies by your team size, the amount of time that you have and detail to get into. But again, I would take the philosophy that this meeting should be about the team, about engaging them and having them motivated, as opposed to the manager, telling or presenting during the entire meeting. It also makes it more fun and much more engaging. Those are my thoughts on the sales meeting. Thank you.